It is Next Fest week, and I am starting the only way I can possibly start when there is a Witchbeam Games demo involved. Witchbeam being the creators of Assault Android Cactus, one of my top 2 indie games of all time. And therefore, anytime they have a new demo, I need to play it. So, we're starting with Tempopo, which is their latest demo. I'm actually going to go in here just so I can balance the audio a little bit more, because the music does get louder once it starts up fully, I think. That's right, it's literally on the first... Audio is the first tab. I'm not used to audio being the first tab, but in this case it is, because it's a game that is very much about music. Alright. Let me actually just nudge down the master volume a little bit. Actually, you know what's interesting? They actually... Yeah, they mention overall volume in the tip up here, but they don't actually say master volume, which, like, master volume is a very... like, legacy term, so to speak. It's like you still see it everywhere, but at the same time, you see people trying to, like, get away from using the word master because it has, you know, connotations that aren't exactly great. In contexts like Git version control repositories and stuff, you see them using main instead of master, but master volume's still a thing, but here, they managed to tactfully get away without that. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, let me tab over to Steam and read about the game. Not that. This Steam, my browser window. So Tempopo is a psychedelic soundscape in the sky, puzzled through the seasons by conducting chaotic tempopo to rescue musical flowers. Design and populate your melodic garden, then let the music play. Okay, interesting. So you have to set stuff up and then find out if it works or not, I guess. About this game. When Hana's garden of musical flowers are scattered across a sky full of beautiful islands, she must turn to the magical Tempopo for help returning them. Chaotic and uncoordinated by nature, the Tempopo rely on... You know, oh my god, I'm starting to get the sense that this is sort of like musical Lemmings. Who here has played Lemmings for, like, Super NES or DOS or any number of other platforms in like, the early 90s? I think that's what we're dealing with here. Like, you even see them, like, having different roles and stuff, I think. That's actually what... Oh my god, this is... I'm going to be awful at this, potentially, but it's going to be great. Because I was never good at Lemmings. Lemmings got kind of out of hand, I feel like. Chaotic and uncoordinated by nature, that phrase right there is what turned me on to, wait a minute, this is Lemmings with music. The Tempopo rely on Hana's conducting skills to keep on the right track and solve each island's puzzle. Puzzle through the seasons. Each island is a challenge of planning and execution. Experiment with different configurations and routes. Instruct every Tempopo to play their part as they smash, block, lift, and push each other through the puzzles that span all 4 seasons. Let the music play, a bright and joyful world that's permeated with music, where every living element moves in harmony with a rhythmic heartbeat. With a soundtrack by BAFTA award-winning composer and audio director... Yep, it's Jeff again. Jeff has been a constant throughout Witchbeam's games since, like, 10 years ago. Assault Android Cactus, Jeff. Unpacking, Jeff. Tempopo, still Jeff. Jeff does good stuff, so, like, I mean, like, the amount of, like, attention to detail in the sound design of Assault Android Cactus kind of blew me away back in the day, so, like, it's great to see him return again and again. Space to grow. With each puzzle you solve, the flowers you rescue become a part of your very own melodic garden. Each type of flower sings its own tune, and you can synthesize their melodies to enjoy unique musical performances. So there's a functional component and there's an aesthetic component, I take it. Also, I just mentioned Jeff van Dyck and attention to detail. I need to show you attention to detail. Hang on. I'm gonna actually restart the game a couple of times to show you one thing that I just completely accidentally stumbled into. So let me restart this. I'm gonna let the intro play first. So that's Witchbeam's typical... You know, that's similar to what we heard in Assault Android Cactus 10 years ago. But I'm going to restart it again. And I'm going to try to time this properly. I'm going to, like, skip through them now. And just pay attention to what it sounds like. So, did you hear that? Okay, there was a little bit of glitching at the end. But did you hear that it still reverberated? It didn't so that isn't just like reverb baked into the sound file, because if it were baked into the sound file, I would have hit escape and it would have just cut. It didn't just cut. It cut the sound itself, and then the cut-off sound still reverberated after that. And, like, that's just extremely amusing to me that they actually, like, that's actually post-processing. So, Tempopo. Let's get into Lemmings, but with music. Actually, let's look at the options first. So I already spoke at length about the fact that they managed to do a overall volume slider without using the word master. We've got subtitles enabled by default. We've got a mono mode. You've got window mode. What do we have as options here? Full screen, borderless, and windowed. And it defaulted to borderless. Constrained cursor you can enable or disable. Now, when you're in the menu, it does not constrain the cursor. I can move my cursor onto my other monitor right now, but presumably when I'm in the game. Now, of course, you do also have gamepad controls. Not to skip ahead just yet, but we've got graphics quality. What are our interesting... So, this is actually... There's no indication that that's a pop-up menu, but that's a pop-up menu, and I can understand why. You don't want it to, like, shift this on a dime as soon as you press it. You know, as soon as you press left or right, so that makes sense. Some kind of affordance for that would be nice, though. These clearly, you just press left and right, and it does apply immediately, seemingly, because it seemed like it took a minute to load in that first time. They put it out the week after it ran. Oh, jeez. Post-processing. Add bloom and depth of field. Okay, it's one knob for two things, but those, I feel like if you want to turn one of those off, you might also want to turn the other one off, so it's nice that they give you the option anyway. Game mode. Make the game harder or easier to play. There's puzzle and there's adventure. Instructions can be placed in empty spaces. Instructions can be placed in marked spaces. Recommended for younger players. Oh, so this basically gives you, like, hints. This sort of gives you guideposts. Whereas this is, you have to figure it out for yourself. Interesting. Okay. And that has its own, like, sub-menu graphics. Low vision mode. Highlight important objects in the game. Interesting that they call it low vision, because, like, you tend to see color blindness modes, but, like, presumably there's more facets to that than this. It might even, like, it says highlight important objects, but I wonder if it even, like, uses different graphics to make them stand out or something. Stationary island transitions. Remove the motion when changing islands. They have motion sensitivity control here. It's actually interesting that, like, the game menu is ostensibly also the accessibility menu. I think Assault Android Cactus had a game options menu and an accessibility options menu, but here the accessibility options are the game options. You've got a gazillion translations already, apparently. And then, like I said, you can use a gamepad with it. I moved my gamepad. Hang on. I moved my gamepad, and also I rebooted, so I had to, like, unplug it and plug it in again. Okay, here we go. But yeah, and as a result of that, you know their menus also have to be both gamepad and keyboard accessible. So, like, now I'm using the arrow keys. WASD also works. I'm not sure... There's probably... You have to use Enter. You can't use space to activate a tab. You have to use Enter. So there's nothing that... I don't think there's anything that works... in place of left bumper and right bumper, just quickly switch tabs. So that's, like, the only thing potentially missing. Actually, hang on. Yeah, no, page up and page down don't. I was gonna say, I was feeling rumble when I had my controller on my leg while I was using the keyboard. So they do have rumble enabled by default, but you can disable it. Maybe I'll actually try using the controller and see what they apply force feedback to. You can invert the camera. You can control the speed of the gamepad cursor specifically. You can swap which stick does what. Okay. But yeah, there's force feedback every time you choose or back out of a menu. I don't know how I feel about that, but, like, I tend to turn rumble off to begin with, so, like, take my perspective with a grain of salt from that angle. Also, I'm realizing my timer isn't up here. Let me fix that. Okay, there's my mouse. Alright, maybe I'll try with gamepad first.
springtime. The flowers are in bloom, and you know how they love to perform. Hey, we should put on a concert. No! Don't be like that. I've practiced a lot since last time. And even if it goes a little wrong, it won't be the end of the world.
Narrator.
It's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Huh? You'll help me go after the flowers and bring them home. But I have to take my time and give actual good directions?
It's still the end of the world.
Well, that's fair. Come on, let's save our friends.
The animation style, like the facial animation style, also feels very Assault Android Cactus. And I forgot to open the credits first, but this also features Sanatana Mishra, or as we call him in the Assault Android Cactus Discord, Smish. He was also the designer on that game. He was not the designer on Unpacking. That featured Wren, is it Brier or Brier? I'm probably mispronouncing it one way or the other. I apologize for that. I'm terrible at pronouncing things correctly sometimes. Alright, we've got a tutorial here. Press, I guess, the note button, which you can actually go down here and press it, or you can just press X to start conducting and get everyone moving. And we have to rescue a flower. Well, we died. Tempopo need guidance to rescue their friends. Press press retry, I guess, to make a plan. Select the glowing area to play. Okay, so this is the kind of, like, indicators you probably get if you're playing in adventure mode. To place an instruction. Okay. So if you're using mouse, this basically kind of turns out like mouse gestures. Oh, but you... Okay. Clicking and dragging actually... I was wondering if it was actually going to be like mouse gestures where you have to click and drag, but actually it's probably a good thing that it's not. Actually, both left click and right click do the same thing. So you could make right click and drag rotate and left click and drag do this, but there is something to be said for not requiring drag gestures for common functions. And I'm presuming that there's probably... Is there another way? Okay. You can actually... The same thing that you can do with the left and right stick, you can also do with WASD to move the hand and the arrow keys. So you actually don't have to use mouse at all, potentially. I will probably switch to using mouse, though, because I feel like I can be much more direct with that than the controller. Actually, one thing I'm curious about... Yeah, like, so there's a certain threshold before it lets you select that. Okay, so... Okay, that's gonna tell it to go the other way, I guess. So, I guess initially... Right, he came over here, and he turned right by default. So, what if we played this in the other hemisphere? Would he turn the other way? Anyway. So they can make certain decisions on their own. So you can replay, you can go to the main menu, you can continue, or you can go to the garden. What's the garden look like? Wait. I can play music here too? How does that work? Oh, okay. I can actually... So I pressed X reflexively, attempting to, like, back out, but it also started. You can actually just press A again to back out, or B. Yeah, so B will always back out. So, I get the impression... I think I know what's going on here. What's going on here is, if we plant a flower, it makes a sound, and then... As those parts light up, as those spots light up, the things in those spots will play. And it's also doing it, like, relative to what the current chord in the background is. Okay, I'm gonna switch to... actually, you know what I didn't pay attention to, though? Was, like, force feedback, like rumble during that. Oh, you can also zoom with the triggers. Okay, that's shown on the top right. And then if we go here, we can island select... Okay, at first I thought the D-pad didn't work, but it does. Island select. Okay, so then these are just our stages, and that was what we just completed. Let me do one more level this way. So. This is like Lemmings, but at least initially more manageable, because you can kind of predict what they're going to do. So this guy's probably going to come down here and then fall to his doom. So we probably... Oh, wait, we got two things. We can make him, like, fly, presumably? I pushed the wrong button again. I am so instinctively pressing X to cancel. Did it seriously land that much later? I just felt the rumble, too. Hang on, let's do that again. So the scream makes a rumble. And then the thud makes a rumble. Very good. And it seems like every beat while it's active is also potentially rumbling. So yeah, let me actually... I'm going to turn off the rumble and switch to keyboard and mouse now, but I wanted to, like, at least pay attention to that to see what it's used for. Alright, keyboard and mouse time. But yeah, number one thing is I keep accidentally pressing X to back out, but X is also the button that does this by default, which you can remap, so it's not like you can't take matters into your own hands. Actually, let me look at that really quick. If I look at remap inputs... Play and stop is X, yeah, return is B. So I could, like, invert those two or something. Oh, and Y is also an alt play stop. Yeah, so just get rid of that and I would just... Yeah. It is a solvable problem. It's just muscle memory to me from, like, other games, I guess. But, I mean, return being B is also kind of standard, so I don't know why I insist on pressing X to do it. That's just me. Alright, so... I think up here... Okay. How is this gonna work? Because, like, here it seems like we need them to turn that way. Can I rotate this somehow? That's pretty... Okay, so there's a shovel icon for you to, like, erase and take back what you did. The problem is... They're giving us a thing to, like, elevate them. But I would think... What would we use that for? Because they have to go up here and rescue this. If I leave them to their own... I mean, there's even a yellow patch here to try to signpost it, even if you're not in highlight mode. Adventure mode. I feel like this is the only possibly valid place for the other placement. But also there's a railing here, so I don't expect that to work. Let me see what happens just doing this. The other one just wilts. So it's like, congratulations, you did it, except you left this one out, and it's really sad now. Okay. Wait, this isn't a... I'm an idiot. This is literally just telling it to go that direction. I'm taking that as, like, raise on the Z-axis. No, this is just frickin' I was overthinking it. They're not introducing the third axis yet. They're just introducing cardinal directions. And, you know, the problem is up is ambiguous. And they colored it differently than left. Left and up had different colors. That's what made me think otherwise. Okay, now we got two dudes here. Now this one should have no problem getting over here, but then what are we doing with this? Can we... what does this do? Presumably it becomes solid and traversable. And then here, we need to do that. Oh my god, wait, but it's gonna... Isn't that bad? Really? I don't know how I feel about the fact that the Tempopos can die, and that's completely fine, actually. Like, yeah. Those guys that couldn't navigate their way out of a paper bag, good riddance. We don't need them. We just need the flowers to survive. Okay, what are we doing? Wait, are you... Do you live here? I think this guy lives here. What options do we have? What is that? Oh, this is gonna... He's gonna break him out of prison. We'll see what happens. And then... I guess? We're gonna see how this pans out. Well, I needed another one. Whoops, hang on. Do I have another? I do have another one. Wait, hang on. Does this tell me that I have two? No, it doesn't. So, like, as soon as they started moving past here, I was like, wait a minute, I'm gonna have a problem. But the interesting thing is, like, they always give you exactly enough, but they don't tell you how many enough is. So, like... I expected to see, like, a 2 over, or, like, a counter on this to show me that, hey, you've got multiple of these that you should be using. I like that you could also see it, like, holding, you know, the correct number of flowers. How are we gonna get on there? That's raised, so we gotta be able to do something else. We got 3 of these guys. Okay, and all we can do is make blocks. Okay. So we gotta block that guy in. Now, the thing you gotta realize that I haven't been paying attention to yet is... they stay as blocks for a specific number of beats. Okay, I get it. We need to do one there, we need to do one here. I mean, like, here it's basically just, like, judging by the topography of the level. That's gotta be how it works. But eventually, there's gonna be, like, presumably, like, clever interplay between not just, like, both topography and also timing. Yeah, see? We're already getting that. I actually screwed up. Okay. I probably need to oh, you know what? Hang on. What? Do I still have... No, I can't place any more. Alright, I'm curious. I suspect this is the wrong thing to do. Let's try it there. Nope! That was definitely more wrong than last time. Okay. The thing is, I also need this guy to get up this direction, and he's not gonna do that. But we definitely need them in these locations, right? Let me look at what this does again. Yeah, so the timing on this one is completely wrong. And this guy ends up going up there and doing that, but this guy ends up going over here. And that's not really helpful right now? This has got to be wrong, but I want to see what happens. Oh, wait. Hang on. Get rid of this one. Yeah, okay. I'm using the wrong one to turn. That'll work. I wonder... Oh, geez, we got, like, threats now. I'm wondering, like, I assume this is going to be like Assault Android Cactus, where there's going to be, like, different biomes, so to speak, and we'll have different musical themes in each one. Because, like, Assault Android Cactus had 5. But then you had, like, 5 levels within each one. Now, I would assume this is going to be longer than 25 levels, given that each level is a single screen, or maybe we'll see that they end up being larger than that. We've also got... So we've got a skull here, a hungry skull, and then we've got thorns. And we don't have at all from East 10, so I don't think we can just set the thorns on fire and that just be the end of it. Well, we can tell our guy to go away from the thorns, which, you know, seems like a good advice. Is there another dude somewhere? How is this going to work? Alright, I'm curious what, like, can that interact with these two? I'm curious. Because this is definitely a screw around and find out situation. Oh, that eats the thorns. I love the crunching sound. Wait, how did it get up there that one time? Because now it can't. Also, I feel like, is this music different already? I think it might be. Okay, so I did not realize that that's going to do that. But how the heck am I I need to get that first. And this thing keeps going that way, so... Alright, so yeah, that's definitely bad. I might not have had the wrong idea. Okay, wait, which way did it go first? It just went straight into that, didn't it? So putting the block here buys time for this to go chomp all the stuff. And then I guess we need to do that to get it to go up here and take the flower and then go up there. I see, yeah, they're all just rotating they're rotating clockwise. Yeah, the music on that seemed like it was different, so that already answered that question. So yeah, everything rotates clockwise by default, and the block was actually forcing the skull to go the other way, so that it would... The reason that nothing was climbing the stairs was because you had to go counterclockwise for that. Okay, what... Oh, now we're talking about flying, probably, right? The thing that I was, like, ready for in the first or second level? That I really shouldn't have been. And also, I think that's the only option I have. So, presuming that makes them land there, he's gonna go this way. And then he's gonna be forced to go this way, and then we just do this. And then the other one is gonna end up going that way. Is this gonna be sufficient? I only have 2 of them, so I guess this is reusable? Oh, one uses the other. Okay. Did that other one still have the I didn't hear the other one scream. Does it usually not... Do you usually not hear the scream if you already succeeded? I think maybe he was okay with it because he had the propeller leaves. Alright, what the heck am I even looking at here? We got 3 dudes. 3 Tempopos. This seems like maybe a well, if he falls off of there, he's gonna land there. And he's gonna need to be able to go up here and then up there. And then this is gonna turn him this way. Once they're over here, you're gonna need one of these. Presumably. I'm not sure how the timing on this is gonna work out. But then we've also got a block. Oh, yeah, because we also have this to deal with. One of these... Alright, let's try this. That works. The friggin' somersaults as they're climbing the stairs. You know, I should have noticed that probably a level or two ago. Alright, yeah, we got a skull this time. What are we doing about the skull? The skull needs to chomp the thorns for us. We can't direct the skull, can we? All we can do here is put a block down. What happens if we don't do anything? Also, I'm curious. Is there... Okay, spacebar does the same thing as X on the controller. Oh, he did do what I wanted him to, eventually. Yeah, so I'm gonna... So here's the thing. Don't those stairs come down from down here anyway? Like, I feel like putting a block here is wrong, but... Let's see. Oh, right, I'm not even getting that far. I presume space also retries. I didn't actually try pressing that. So what the heck are we doing about this? If I put one here, these guys are gonna get there before the chomper does, and that's also bad. Well, actually, no, that won't even work. What am I thinking? Well, no, if I put it here, I'm thinking this is wrong. Right, then that happens. That's what I thought. Although, wait, do we have to sacrifice one? I should have let that play out. But it's gonna end up coming over here, right? And we don't want that either. Oh no, the block does need to be there. Wait, so what did I... Actually, what went wrong there? Because I actually thought that I did rescue the flowers, and, like, isn't that what we wanted? Because, like, we're allowed to just, like, yeet Tempopos into orbit, but it's not okay if one of them pops like a balloon? Didn't we get all 3 flowers? Like, how is that not good enough? I guess we assumed that they land safely somewhere, even though they scream as they're falling to their doom. But we definitely need one here. Because of this. And actually, wait. Will that... I'm still wondering what the I can't tell. Wait, duh, I can rotate. See, that's also level with that. This axis is level. This axis is, you know, 1 block above. So I don't know. We can try it, since I do apparently have... I have exactly 2 of them. Apparently that didn't really pose a problem to the chomper. We had some beatboxing. You're still hearing the chomping, but, like, only sometimes it, like, faded out and then in again. So there had to be, like, some location specifics to that. Also, like, the flowers also, like, show up next to our protagonist. As they're collected, too. Alright, there's just one dude here, making splinters. Does that mean we have a new thing? Oh, this is the one we saw before, but now we presumably have to... I just needed to click there. I habitually pressed escape. Do I actually have to, like, bust this block? Or... Like, can I even do that? And then we would have to also... Yeah, so I guess, like, if there's something on... This is also teaching you that if there's something on top of it, it'll become accessible. Because, like, if I bust this block, this will become accessible. If I bust this plant, presumably that's not harmful to the flower above it, and I'll be able to collect it. Also, I'm an idiot. Remember how I was saying I wasn't seeing numbers? The numbers are down on the bottom right. I'm just not paying attention. Wait, how... Okay, so we also need one there? How am I? Okay, no, that'll work, right, because we rotate clockwise by default, so that will absolutely work. Interesting. I wasn't expecting that fanfare given what the, like, music during the level was like. I thought the doot-doot-doot-doot-doot was gonna pair up with the other doot-doot-doot-doot-doot. So I don't know whether it's randomly selected, or if it is, like, a specific pairing per level. But yeah, I totally didn't... I completely ignored what was down here. Also, can I, like, seriously... So they have hover effects. Oh, you can actually... You can click and drag from there if you want to. But it's arguably easier to just use the menu here. Okay, yeah, I just totally didn't notice the numbers here. I was expecting to see them in the menu, but they probably didn't do them in the menu because it would get way too crowded, or they'd have to make the numbers way too tiny or something. So, at least it's somewhere. I just have to be paying attention to the other corner of the screen. I was expecting it all in one place, and I didn't need to be expecting that. So we presumably need... I guess the lesson here is that you can break things that are even, like, below your current level. Because, yeah, it looks like we're going to be able to fall through there. And then we're going to fall... Wait, how is that going to work? This seems wrong and dangerous. Is there a railing there? Technically, yes. The block kind of dwarfs the railings, so, like, you have to really understand that there's a railing there. I'm gonna try this. I'm worried about the health of the flower. And how are we gonna deal with that? Or perhaps that's the neat part, you don't... Why are there 3 more of these things, though? Hang on. I can't place something there. So we're gonna have to... If this goes according to plan, which I'm not entirely confident it will... Also... There's no railing here... What? I didn't mean to do that. Excuse me. I accidentally dragged. There's no railing there. Yeah, so you can actually drag these, too. I'm presuming that works with controller also? Let me check. Yeah, you can... Basically, anything you can do with mouse, you can do with controller plus left pad / stick. And then, of course, mouse wheel can also zoom out and in. Yeah, so these guys are both gonna go clockwise. That's fine. That'll break that. What I'm unsure about is what's gonna happen here. I think what's actually... How are we gonna get them to collect this one? Because I would expect them to just keep going down at this point. So... But I also can't place anything here. I'm gonna put one of these here, because I expect it's going to be needed for that. There's a railing there, which is interesting. Clearly we need this to be here, because I don't know how else you're gonna get over there. My gut instinct says to put one there for that thing, but I don't understand how that could possibly work in that direction. Are these breakable? I would not interpret those as being breakable. But let's... That also wouldn't work, because then this is gonna fall down, right? I don't know, let's see what the heck happens. What?! I was hoping they would turn around before they decided to do that. Like, there's a railing here, so I thought it would turn around and break this. And actually, this is also one of those gold blocks. But no, they didn't turn around at all. They just broke the railing and caused an OSHA violation. So that's great. So then what am I actually doing here? Because that's the other thing is, like, there is specifically a planning cycle and a doing cycle. So, like, this is actually, like, conceptually simpler than Lemmings in that from that perspective. Because Lemmings, I'm pretty sure you could do shit whenever. It was basically an RTS. Whereas this is like a tactics RPG, an SRPG instead, where like you have the planning phase. I also like how they have like much quieter music while you're planning, and then when shit actually happens, it's like, okay, let's go. And then that gives you something to jam to while it's happening. While your minions are causing OSHA violations. So if I can't do that, and I do this, this doesn't seem like what I would expect, but let's see what happens. Oh my god. Okay. It moved the railing down, dude. I was not expecting railings to survive OSHA violations. But if the OSHA violation targets ground that has railing on it, then the railing survives to the lower level. Suddenly this is like inverted Catherine or something. Disclaimer, I've never played Catherine. I just know there's a lot of climbing involved. And moving stuff left and right and up and in and out and maybe also up and down. Okay, so this is actually the right play. But you have to be, like, thinking ahead to, like, which direction will you be facing. So then what do we want to do here? Because the problem is they're going to walk right off. No, they're not, though. Because, okay, this caused them to walk right off because it destroyed the railing, right? Sometimes there's so much stuff happening at once that you gotta, like, look at it again. Can I, like, take this back? You have to click it. Both left click and right click do the same exact thing. I'm honestly wondering how many systems this is being made for, because, like, this feels like it's being made for touch controls, too. Given that, like, left click and right click do the same thing. So if I don't do that, then this railing will cause them to go over here. But then they're not going to end up here. How are they going to get off of that? Aren't they just going to live there forever? Because nothing would cause them to turn here. And I probably don't want to put a wrecking ball there because that's going to obliterate that probably. Actually, it's not even going to do that because they're going to be facing... Well, actually, no. What am I thinking? They're going to come down this one, not this one. So they're going to go that way. Yeah, and then what? If I put one here, that should destroy the railing... That's what I had, right? Where it destroyed the railing here? Then what's going to happen to this? Or is it going to destroy that too? I don't know. Let me double check. Oh no, they both went down. Oh, what? I accidentally clicked both mouse buttons. Don't do that. Yeah, so that we don't want. So what happens if we don't do that? You do get different music every time. So it actually does just cycle. But now they're just going to live there. So how do we make them not live there? And my first thought is like, okay, I'll put one here, but what then? This might actually destroy the flower. Oh no, it just moves it down. I underestimated how resilient flowers are, apparently. Apparently... Are we sure we're rescuing flowers and not, like, weeds? Because, like... That flower got utterly dumpstered and still lived. So, okay, that ended up down there. The railings ended up down there. That seems useful. What are we doing about this? I can put one there. Where don't we? This one doesn't make sense. Get rid of this one, put it here. There we go. it does seem to make sure that, like, what comes after the level, you know, like, the victory music is still, like, fitting with the level music. But yeah, it probably, like, randomly selects both every time you start. And I hadn't quite paid attention to exactly when the flowers start growing next to the character on the bottom right, and it's, like, specifically when they get brought to the portal. So, like, the Tempopos are holding them until they get to the portal. When they get to the portal, then they sprout next to the other character. Okay, well, I mean, clearly... Wait, what is... Oh, God, we have a new... I was like, I thought we were just gonna be destroying things, but no, we're pushing it. We're pushing it, and it's gonna take out the thorn for us, I guess. And I still have 3 more of those. Right, and there's a hole there, so... I can't place one there, though. But I can place one here, and when that goes down... That should work. Then we're gonna go right. So, well, we're gonna push this. Then we're gonna go right, and we're gonna be forced around here, so we need one here. And then... we need to push this twice. Don't we? How do I do that, actually? So, like, I can push this. Oh, wait, no. There's only... Whoop, I didn't mean to do that. Accidental dragging. It's like, yeah, actually, I almost wish the dragging wouldn't work. Because, yeah, there's no distinction between left and right click, so, like, sometimes I will go to rotate the map, and I happen to just click on something, and it drags it instead. I don't think there's an undo stack in here either, so it's not like, oops, where did I take this from? How do I put it back? Help. There's no recourse for that. I don't know if this is gonna push it until it finds somewhere to drop or stop against something. I guess we're gonna find out. It seems like it might be intended that way. There is apparently less friction than I expected. Yep. It just occurred to me in that stage that the amount of bobbing that the hedges do is almost a little bit creepy. What kind of options do we have again? I should double check. I know there was, like, the post-processing thing, which, like, honestly, I don't feel like I'm being beaten over the head with post-processing to begin with. It's like, usually when you see a game mention Bloom, you're expecting, you know, to be completely blinded by it. But this isn't really that bad. This is actually tasteful amounts of Bloom, I guess. Or maybe we just haven't gotten to, like, serious light sources yet. Alright, what do we have here? Now we're putting more stuff together. Where are we starting? Where? Oh, they're over here. Okay. So... I assume we want to push this over the thorns. And then that's gonna cause us to go this way. We need one of these, and this... What is this? Is this gonna be... We only have one of those. So what are we doing about those thorns? I keep wanting to go hit escape to dismiss that menu. I have to remember to just click again. Because the thing is, this is... Well, actually, no. You know what? Just take this out. This will force us this way. We should be able to avoid the thorns completely. This should bring them up here. We are going to want to build a bridge here, most likely. So that'll push from that side. What's gonna happen after that, though? Because this is gonna... We need to go there, so this is where the thorn needs to be used, or... I don't know what to call these things. The problem is they don't put words to a lot of these things, so, like... I don't know what to call them, sometimes. This is gonna be a problem, though. We don't need that there. But we can't place it there. Isn't this not high enough to cross? Oh, wait, no, yes. It is if we can steamroll the thorn. We haven't actually tested that theory yet. Okay, maybe we don't need to push this, but this looks like it's meant to do... Oh, that's supposed to push over that way. Okay, but I can't build on stairs. Hang on a second. How are we doing this? I don't think this is valid. I don't know if you can, like, actually move before you start pushing something and carry that through. So, we're gonna find out. And then what's happening over here, for that matter? Because if I do that, this is gonna be in the way, and I can't place something there. And all I have left is a go up thing. What are we doing with that, for that matter? Let's see what happens so far. Okay, yeah, you do keep pushing. We knew that part, though. Okay, that doesn't work. You have to put it right next to whatever you're pushing. Where's the exit again? It's over there. This feels like it needs to be pushed, but I'm almost wondering what if I could... There's no way I could push it this way, because this is going to go next... Like, that's going to be adjacent to it on the same level. I got us as far as here, but then it's like, okay, now what? This doesn't seem to do us any favors here. Can that work there? The problem is they're gonna land in this, I think. That doesn't work, okay. Not surprised. Okay, so like something about this is very wrong. I mean, crossing over there seems to make sense, but what if... Hang on, what if we go the other way? We need this back. Oh, I misclicked. It would be really cool if they made it so that... So, like, right now, that actually fades away with distance. It would actually be kind of neat if you could just... Like, almost like a gesture, but without the drag. Like, if you could just do this, hit diagonal, and then click. Rather than having to be specific about distance. But I suppose, on the other hand, also useful to know that I can just wave my mouse away from the menu and it goes away. Which somehow I did not consider before pressing escape, which doesn't dismiss the menu. So if I do that, then they'll go this way, then they'll go this way. Well, actually, no, they have to push this. And this is going to go all the way down there. But then they're going to go that way. I need to get this one somehow. This still needs to also get pushed. I think we need this one over here. Let's see what happens. Whoa! That works. We only nearly had a Tempopo pancake. I was a little worried there. Whoa, man. Got like a whole back porch going on here. And a lot of thorns. And we're just pushing things. That's all we're doing this level. How the heck is that gonna work? What do we even have available to push? Like, these things maybe suggesting that they can be pushed, but also there's, like, grass around them, which makes me think that, like, maybe they're not supposed to be pushable. This guy is just gonna go right into thorns. This guy... What would this guy end up doing? I don't know which things they will and won't traverse. Let's find out. Oh, they will go right over the hedges. They don't care. Okay. Tempopo will absolutely 100% cheat at hedge mazes. Okay, but if all I can do is push things... What the heck am I pushing? That's seriously all they're giving me. And I also can't, like... I cannot place things on Tempopo's spawn points. I don't think this is going to do anything, but I'm going to see what happens. Oh my god, what? Alright, this just in, Tempopos can jump with help. Wow. Did not expect that. But it's like, what else? You have nothing to push here other than other Tempopos, which is not... That was not on my bingo card. It's like, if anything, I put this here to see if it would do anything with the block underneath, which I didn't really expect to work. Okay, But then what? We need to get over there somehow. I'm gonna do something not because it's useful, but because I think it'll be funny. That wasn't nearly... That was not nearly as pronounced as I was hoping to see it just go flying across the staircase. But it kind of just, you know, continued tumbling as it usually does. Also, I like how, like, they try to make important items evident behind objects. So, like, Tempopos and flowers will be highlighted behind hedges and stuff. I guess that's true. Yeah, it's true with plants. With trees and whatnot, too. Okay, so I can get this guy to jump over here, but then what do I want to do? Where do they end up? So they do end up crossing paths here, which makes me think I want one here to get this guy to go around, but then he's just gonna frickin' fall off there, right? Well, actually, no. If they continue in the direction that you push them, then he's gonna end up here, and then going upstairs, and then going around to, like, here? I almost feel like these blocks are here as, like, indicators. But how am I going to rescue this? This guy's just going to be in a world of hurt down here, isn't he? No, he is going to end up back up here. So here's the problem. No, I think this is the right thing to do. The thing is, I feel like I end up guessing a lot on timing. Because you have to consider, like, how long each move takes to. Like, for instance, with the tumbleweeds or whatever that they, like, they womp things with, that takes, like, 2 whole beats, because the womp is 1 beat, and then raising it up is another beat before they start moving again. So, like, if you want to try to start planning this stuff ahead, you have to be very conscious of that. We still have 2 more of those things. So this guy will get this. He'll go down these stairs. He'll continue going down these stairs, actually. We need one of them to push the other across here, clearly. I'm not at all confident about this. But we need one of them to hop across here, and then get in there. And actually, if anything, like, at the beginning, I should have realized, like, wait a minute, we need to jump to do this. How are we gonna jump? And that's where you come to your answer. Alright, I still have 1 left, so there's something I'm missing. Oh, yep. There's one over... Oh, interesting. So, but I can't put something there. How am I getting them over here? Like, I don't expect this to work. That works? Hang on. Can I replay that? I need to replay that and specifically focus on, like, I need some kind of like dramatic. Oh, I can't pan the camera further down than that. It's like we need to just be paying attention to this. So that I didn't expect to work. And then this. The fact that you're kicking the one who is has already been falling for like 4 units. And it's like, no, you don't get to land yet. I got news for you, boyo. But no, I did not expect them to cross 2 tiles. But he crossed 2 tiles, so what is the limit or rule set on that? Bring it home. Could this be the end of the demo? Why are we calling it Bring It Home? And I guess, so I have to wonder, because at this point we have been introduced... Oh, yo, I just realized something. Hang on. It actually rotates the entire menu? I don't agree with that. So the problem with that, like, I get it from the, like, it's an interesting idea for the arrows. Like, for that it makes sense. But then you end up with this problem of, like, well, I have to rotate the rest of the menu too. But then the menu is no longer deterministic, because now this button is down at the bottom right. If I rotate 90 degrees, now that same exact button is at the bottom left. Rotate 90 degrees, and now it's at the top left. Yeah, that fails. If this were being audited for web accessibility standards, you would be failing, like, predictability for consistent controls at that point. It's like, again, like, I understand why, because for the arrows it makes sense. Maybe at that rate it makes more sense to have, like, 2 sub-menus, one to the left, or like have like left and right or top and bottom, where one side is arrows, and those can be rotationally dependent, and the other side is actions, and those are constant. I guess the other thing too is, like, for controller, you could just give each of these a binding, right? It's like open menu, and then you can just use the 4 face buttons for each of these actions. Like, use the arrows and the face buttons for actual actions, potentially. I don't think that does that. Like, if I pick up the controller again, this is just moving the cursor. And yeah, that just started things. So, like, there are a lot of potential options for maybe making the controls more intuitive and ergonomic in this. Okay, so the funny thing is we'd be headed right to the end warp right now, but we don't want to do that yet. Maybe that's why it's called Bring It Home. And we just have like a conga line here, so it's like, what makes sense to do when? I would presume I should be doing that. We don't have any arrows on this. One of these guys is gonna have to become a block, I assume. And that will cause one of these guys to go around. I didn't mean to do that. That's, again, I was trying to rotate the camera and I accidentally clicked on a thing. So what do we need here? I can't place something there. These are gonna be a problem. I guess I could... How is that gonna work? Also, there's actually a gap between there and that anyway. How would I get something to come up here? Like, there's clearly conveyance that, like, you're intended to probably go up the stairs. Although even that is a guess. Alright, we don't want them to turn around into that. That would be bad. I don't know what we're doing about all these thorns. This seems like a difficulty spike right here. What can we push? Wait. Pushing a block from there wouldn't really make any sense, though. We could push this one. Right, and I have to remember that pushing does push, like, multiple times. That's gonna land there. I didn't even realize that was there. This is gonna need to get destroyed. But I used that already. Where did I use that? I used that there. We don't need to use that there. You can use push here, too. Then we have to pray that this gets pushed before somebody makes it over here. Which might be a safe assumption. Although, actually, wait, so which dude is getting over there? We need somebody to get over here. So we do need block here. So that one of them will end up going this way and then this way. This is probably enough to delay them until this happens. So what do we still have? We still have 2 flights and another block. Well, so, one problem is that if I destroy this, they're immediately going to go over there and die. But I can put another block here. I don't think that helps me, though. What we actually need... So 2 of these... Wait, there's 4 of them total. Holy crap. Okay, hang on. Can I actually just... wait, that's not what I want. I don't know if you can push 2 things. How would I get another block set up here? Because it definitely feels like you need another block to push over here. But it doesn't feel like I have enough room for that. And I would expect that if I put something here, it's not going to... It's just going to get crushed, isn't it? We can try and see what happens. Yeah, it didn't work. Did not expect it to work. It did not work. I'm not actually taking care of this one yet either, am I? And I still don't know what I'm doing about that. So I can't put a block there. And there's... Actually, wait. Okay. I need one of these here. And then I need another one of them here. That takes care of those. And then they'll fall down here and go this way. So that's fine. The big question is, what do we do to get to that? And the only thing I haven't tried that I'm dubious whether it will work is that. Something did not go according to plan. And I didn't even see what exactly happened, but yeah, this did not go the way I expected it to. What happened? Only one of them came that way. So yeah, that's a problem. If I just have the push block here, or the push action, that's just gonna, like, he follows that, right? The other thing that's interesting... Still doesn't solve that, though. The only other thing and I don't have anything to... Well, I have the block, but this is not correct. And only one comes up there anyway. So yeah, that doesn't make sense. I will say, like, it starts getting a little crowded to try to make sense of things. It's very easy to accidentally miss stuff when you start layering in all 3 dimensions. Also, you know what's funny? This exact same, like, silhouette through obstructing objects is also used in Assault Android Cactus. Of course, like, that's gonna be common between a lot of games, but it's funny to me because it's the same designer. I'm also wondering... Like, you can see other islands in the background, and I don't know if those are actually related to things that you've played. You know, if they're literally adjacent or not. Alright, anyway. Stop getting distracted and try to figure out what I'm missing here. You know what? Let me pay attention to what happens again. Oh. You got it. You potentially have to watch this multiple times to see what's going on. So I did try this earlier, but I might not have had everything else set up, and I think that actually is correct. Never noticed that number going up before, but it was presumably going up every time. So yeah, that was effectively the end of the demo in terms of stages. Now we can plant this is the Chow Garden of this video game. Now we can plant all the flowers, and there's different types of flowers. What on earth is that thing? I feel like we have some sort of like Plants vs. Zombies crossover flowers going on. I presume that is confirming that there are, in fact, going to be 5 worlds. And there's one type of flower in each world, potentially, and each one will have its own, you know, genre or something. You know, different style of music each time. So I did plant one flower before. It's hard to see because it's hidden behind the pinwheels. Oh, you can plant multiple in one spot? Wait, how do you actually... I'm confused. How do you actually plant them, then? I thought before I just, like, selected the thing. Do you have the choice... Oh, I didn't realize I was specifically clicking that, and there is an outline that, like, grows to show you. So you can plant anywhere between 1 and 4, and it makes a chord. Oh, and you can also, like, seriously increment it from the same menu. Wait, is it only the 3? No, it automatically incremented it. Like, so if I put 1, it's immediately saying 2 if I click on the same thing again. Yeah, so it does, like, a major or minor 7th chord. Actually, yeah, I guess all of these are major chords, aren't they? They're all major 7ths. Alright, let's toss a big one in here. If I don't miss... There you go. So, I mean, this is the kind of thing where there's no wrong way to do it. You're just making music. Let's try something interesting over here where we, like, do 1 there, then immediately do 2, then immediately do 3. Let's actually get rid of this one. Upgrade that to 3. We've still got 20 left. Also, can I can still drag. Wait, why didn't that... Excuse me. Okay, I was a little off with my dragging. I got snapped to grid in a way I did not expect. Those are really high notes, good lord. Let's actually make those 3s. I'll make these... I'm making this, like, symmetrical by accident. Let's actually make this a 3 also and go full rotational symmetry. Like, some of this is, like, flipped symmetry and some of it is rotational symmetry. Alright, we're down to 11. Let's see what it sounds like, though. It's funny that the flowers reflected the new chord before you actually heard it come in. But yeah, okay, so a half of... When it makes 1 half clockwise cycle, that's when it switches chord. But like I said, it's a little strange because you don't hear the swell come in until after the first tick or 2. So, like, it'll actually sound better if I move these out a little bit more. What was that? Oh, also, what is performance grayed out? Plant all your oh! Specifically when you plant all your flowers, you can do a thing. Is that actually just part of the music? That one note that suddenly, like that one organ note? Wait, what? I don't know if it's just because of the number of flowers I've planted. Okay, then perform lights up. Alright. But what happens... The interesting thing about this is... It sounds like to an extent there's like a limit on how many voices will play at once, and you hear them cutting each other off sometimes. But let's see what perform does.
Sunshine in the springtime.
Didn't realize we were getting a full vocal performance. Okay. So, like, it... Wait, what? Oh! Okay. I was like, wait, is the demo not... Because one thing... I will stop the timer here, I guess. One thing about the Assault Android Cactus demo was they specifically included one level from the second area so that you could see what kind of variety there was. In this case, they didn't actually give you a level, but they just panned to it, and you can see, oh, this is a whole new biome, which is what I was expecting. And you can see there's probably, like, different types of plants and stuff, too. So they're presumably going to add new mechanics in each biome. All 4... That's right, it is supposed to be 4 seasons, right? So I guess maybe it's not 5 areas, maybe it's 4. And I'm presuming we didn't see all of the first area. Because if we did, then this is going to be a sub 5 hour game. Which I guess, to be fair, I actually don't know how long Unpacking is to play through entirely. But Assault Android Cactus, if you're really good at that type of game, especially since they nerfed the final boss, if you catch on quickly, you can play you can do a playthrough of you can do a first playthrough of Assault Android Cactus in a few hours. So like maybe a 5 hour playthrough isn't unexpected necessarily, but I would also be surprised if that was the entirety of the first world. So I don't know. We'll have to find out. But I mean, in terms of the sound design, it's what I expect from Jeff. Oh, and they actually leave us here at the second hub now. There's a freaking jellyfish moving around. So in the first hub, we have like the sky turtle or tortoise or something. Seems like we might actually be underwater and not in the sky. I don't know, because first we had a tortoise and then we had jellyfish. In terms of design, I definitely feel like in terms of controls, there could potentially be improvements. You know, like I said, the fact that the menu rotates means it's potentially unpredictable where buttons are. The fact that, like, it feels kind of weird that the face buttons can still be used to just immediately jump from having the menu open to running the song, like running the level, as opposed to potentially, like, co-opting the face buttons and D-pad for arrows and you know, action types. I wonder... Another thing I was a little surprised by was that they give you, like, exactly the right amount of every action. Which actually, you know what that reminds me of? I think Pushover kind of did that. Pushover was an old game for, like, Dawson. I want to say it was on something else, too. That, like, you have specific types of bricks that, like, it's basically a domino puzzle game. But they would always, that you would have certain types of bricks that, you know, can, like, they fire on a delay, or they split in two, or I think they explode, or, like, they rise and then fall over on the ceiling. And, like, you would always have to figure out, okay, why are they giving me, you know, X number of this type of piece, and where should I be using it? So it's kind of similar in that regard to that. And I guess Lemmings was also that way, that, like, they would allow you a certain number of, like, a specific lemming type. Because I think you have to, like, assign, like, you have the types and you can assign, like, what lemming becomes that type. So it is kind of like that. I was at first wondering if they would just, like... You could argue they could put in, like, an even harder like a nightmare difficulty, where they just say, alright, go nuts. But I guess that could also allow you to just break the game, and that would actually trivialize it, probably. I don't know. I feel like you could still get yourself screwed up in a lot of ways if they just gave you infinite of every item. But that could... I guess that could be bad in multiple ways, because, like, one, you could potentially cheese the game in some ways, and two, without any kind of direction, the sky's there's just a exponential amount of, you know, potential options for, you know, for you to take, and you might never finish. So, like, I can understand wanting to limit by default, at least. So we can go back to the garden directly from here now that we've done things. We can go to Island Select, which, okay, to be fair, there were 15 levels. I lost count. I did not realize I did 15 levels. So, like, 15, and you can't actually click on these, but yes, you can see there are 4 right there, and there's so many things that are blatantly obvious that I just completely missed, like these things up here, and the fact that it told you how many of each thing you had in the bottom right corner, so that's on me. But yeah, there are four biomes up here, 4 seasons, or... So, if it gives you 60 levels, then, like, you have to imagine that, like, you're not going to be starting from square one every time. Like, it's going to... You got to, you know, a certain level of complexity at the end here, and, like, maybe it'll be like Assault Android Cactus, where the final level is a bit of a difficulty spike, and then you're coming a little bit back down to Earth when you go, you know, when you go from Area 1 Level 5 to Area 2 Level 1. Maybe this will be a little bit like that, because, like, if they're going to introduce new mechanics in each world, then they are going to have to introduce them first. So, there's probably going to be, like, you know, dips in the curve, as you go to each new world. But 60 levels could be pretty fair, because, like, yeah, when they get complex enough, they can be kind of time-consuming to figure out. So yeah, also, like, you know, straight up, this isn't the kind of game I typically play, but it's very clear that they're doing a pretty good job with it. And again, like, the options and a lot of the visual and sound design seem pretty darn well done already off the bat. But, you know, I'm not surprised. I've seen this team's work before in Assault Android Cactus. Because, yeah, it's Tim Dawson on programming animation, it's Smish on design, and also Seiji Tanaka, and it's Jeff on music and sound design. Oh, we've got more stuff down here, actually. Oh, Wren is still on the team with additional design credit. Wren is who did the primary design for Unpacking. Does this actually scroll by itself? No, it doesn't. It's actually just having me scroll. Oh, there's a scroll bar on the left side of the screen. I don't know how to feel about that. Okay, like, if you use arrow keys, it goes down by a certain amount. I'm surprised they don't have, like, an auto scroll, but you can click and drag, and of course you can click and drag this. Okay, so here's your localization team, because, yeah, there's a lot of languages already built into this. But, yeah. Pretty cool. And I guess, yeah, like, if you do this, as you focus or hover, it gives you a little tip in the bottom right. But yeah, good job. On the Tempopo demo. Does this have a release date yet? Coming soon. Nope, no set release date or you know, even time period target or anything yet. I'm just realizing I stopped my timer at a palindrome. That's pretty neat. And I guess that does it for my playthrough of this demo. We'll, check out 1 or 2 other things. I'll take a break and we'll get to that. Oh, hey, Moons! Yo, good to see ya. Moons is old guard from Assault Android Cactus Discord. Moons, I forget, are you? I actually might as well ask while you're here. Oh, they do have a date. Oh, that's soon. Holy crap. That's only a month and change away. So I wasn't sure how far along they were. But yeah, I mean, like, for the most part, impressed with the demo. There are some things in terms of controls that I might tweak, but maybe they have their reasons. It feels very geared. Do you know if this is publishing on, like, consoles? Because this feels like it could work on Switch or mobile, with the way that the controls behave right now. That was the one thing I was wondering. And the thing I was going to bring up on the subject of Assault Android Cactus is, are you a mod on the Assault Android Cactus leaderboards on speedrun.com? Because if you know what garbage Twitch is pulling with highlights being an endangered species, I might be updating a lot of speedrun.com entries to point to YouTube URLs instead. Was your name in the credits? Did I miss your name in there somewhere? Like, you feel like you know, you seem like you know things. But yeah, no, I was mostly asking about Switch or mobile because it feels like it's very, like, single pointer input centric. Because, like, left and right click do exactly the same thing at all times. Wait, you did... Hang on. Did I totally snooze on the credits here? Oh, no, they didn't call you Moonspod, so I wouldn't have suspected a thing. Well, geez, in that case, that's pretty freaking awesome. Congrats. That's pretty awesome that you were able to get involved in that. Have you done level design on stuff before now, or was this your first time doing something like that? Like, I'm assuming you had to get your... I mean, like, obviously, like, the devs know you from Assault Android Cactus speedrunning, but, like, I assume you had some other, like, prior outlet. That's pretty neat. So wait, you're the only name there. So, like, these are your... Like, you made this, as far as the levels are concerned. Because that's pretty bananas. Fun and on your own. Okay, but yeah, like you have essentially a portfolio to show for it. I tried to coerce myself into, you know, getting into some kind of game development back when I was fun employed in 2023, but I never really ended up pulling the trigger on it. But yeah, geez, that's neat. And I mean, you're basically working with the Assault Android Cactus team because it's Smish again too. So like that's pretty dang awesome. Like 10 years later, after our favorite game came out, or one of our favorite games came out, you're working with them. So congrats on that. It seems like it's already in pretty good shape.